So, what can you do to support your child's brain development? First of all, catch them being good. Thank them when they're doing things that you like. Tell them you appreciate it when they do what you tell them to do. Just notice when they're engaging in activities or behaviors that you want them to continue. Spend time with your child. Just 9 minutes a day can be powerful for your kids. 3 in the morning, 3 after school or dinner, and 3 at bedtime, before they go to bed. Be present and let all other distractions go. You can talk about their day, make plans of what you might want to do together. Let them know how happy you are that they are your child. Be consistent in your expectations so that your kids know what to expect. We need to let kids know what you want them to do, not what you don't want them to do. Let that sink in for a minute. Kids tend to do more of whatever you pay attention to. So if you focus on what you want them to do, they're more likely to do it. And if you focus on what you don't want them to do, they might be more likely to do that. Be consistent in your consequences. Whenever possible, use natural or logical consequences. For example, if a child spills something, they clean it up. You might help them as they're learning how to do this. Kids in the preschool age are old enough to make links between their actions and consequences. And the more consistent you are in following through with consequences, the more safety and security and knowing limits for kids. Stay calm. Sometimes it's hard in the heat of the moment when your child's done something that frustrates you for the 4th time. This is when your ability to stay calm is most important. That's because your kids develop their regulation skills through you. So when you're able to take a deep breath and center yourself before you deal with this challenge, you help them be more likely to stay calm. Have high and reasonable expectations. Kids rise to our expectations when they're realistic. Part of this means knowing what they're able to do at this age. Point positive. It's nice for us to notice when our kids listen to us and to thank them for doing what we asked them. We don't have to say, you're such a good boy or anything like that. That's actually not recommended to do. We can just say thank you. I appreciate it when you listen to me, or I appreciate you picking up your toys. It helps kids to know what we want, and when they get positive feedback about what they're doing, they're more likely to do it in the future. Support your child through routines. When kids have predictable routines, especially if they've experienced traumatic events, they do better. Not necessarily doing these things at a certain time, but more in the same order. You don't want to have to wake up on the weekend at 6 a.m. if that's when you wake up during the week, but maybe have your weekend routine. You do these things and then you do this. Maybe the kids stay in their pajamas until after they've had breakfast, and then they brush their teeth, and then maybe they put their clothes on for the day. Foster a growth mindset. That's when we can learn from our mistakes. We all make mistakes, and it's helpful if we can learn from those mistakes what to do next time. We can help our kids learn that things that are really hard right now will get easier if we keep practicing. If you practice the skill, you'll get better. We keep trying until we figure it out. We stick with it when things are hard. We want to foster this growth mindset in our kids so we can support their ability to push through when things get hard. Get their attention. We need to make sure that they're listening to us when we're telling them to do something. When kids aren't listening, we can get their attention by gently touching them on the shoulder or asking them to look at you so they hear you. If they refuse to do what you tell them to do, you might have to gently help them to do it and let them know that you can do it together until they're able to do it by themselves. Label, discuss, normalize feelings. For kids, so many preschool age kids do not know what it is they're feeling. And so when we can describe maybe their facial expressions or their body posture, whatever it is that we see that kind of is giving us a clue to how they might be feeling, then we can help them understand the feelings that they're experiencing. And we want to normalize feelings because feelings are okay, right? You can be really mad at your sister. You can be really sad that you didn't get to do something that you wanted to do. And as an adult, being there to discuss these things with your child and to support them through this hard time actually helps their emotion regulation. And it helps them understand what their feelings are, to learn how to be able to express them, and to know that having feelings is okay. We all have them. We also want to give kids choices when it's possible, like maybe what to wear, what to play, and maybe even a choice in the snack that they're going to eat. This helps, well, especially for kids who've experienced trauma, helps to give them a little bit of control over their environment. And then, just in general, it helps kids develop that sense of mastery over the environment. Finally, a big one is to help your children problem solve. When there's an issue, if you've got two kids fighting, you can approach them calmly. And if they're fighting about a toy, maybe ask them to hold. Tell them, I'll hold the toy for you while we figure this out together. And in the calm voice, you can notice that they're upset. Ask each child what happened to make them upset, you know, and just you asking them calmly can help them to calm down a little bit. But sometimes they're going to be pretty worked up and will be just, really angry as they're saying it. And you can say, "Oh, it's okay. I'm here with you. Just tell me calmly what's happening." And then repeat what each child says to you about what happened. Describe how you think they're feeling to make sure that you got it right. And then ask them what they can do to solve the problem. Let each child have a suggestion. Repeat the suggestions and let them think about each other's suggestions. If you have another one, you might add it in there as well. And ask which suggestion that they together would like to implement. And if they disagree, then you can have them keep brainstorming until they come up with a compromise that they can agree on. You can say, "Oh, it sounds like neither one of you like each other's ideas. Let's keep thinking. What else could we do?" And then, after you've come up with a solution that both kids are okay with, let them, implement the solution. And then later that day, talk about the issue again and maybe talk about how they can avoid hurting each other, how they can work together. What can they do instead of what they did in this moment of conflict?